Awesome. We are live. Hello, buddies. I'm here with Jeremy from Dovetail. If y'all attended our Design the Future conference yesterday, we were in person and online. Dovetail's one of our sponsors, and we also co-hosted like an after party at Dovetail's office that was super lit, and Jeremy was leading all of that. So, hope to see some familiar
Yay.
faces. As we wait for folks to trickle in, we would love to know what is something you've learned recently and where are you tuning in from? There is also like a 20-second delay on what you see here and what you see on LinkedIn. Majority of folks will be tuning in on LinkedIn, Jeremy, so if you want to pull that up. And yeah, what is something you learned recently, Jeremy, and where are you tuning in from?
I am super excited to be here. Thank you, Grace, for showcasing Dovetail to the Design Buddies community. I'm tuning in from San Francisco. I am here in the Bay Area, grew up here, been around town for a while. And I learned recently that IDEO has an entire design practice, experiential design practice wing that your friends spoke about at your conference. I was able to tune into some of the sessions and I loved that first talk. So I learned so much, just whole ways of reframing design and UX. And yeah, that was so good for me.
I'm so glad. I'm also tuning in from San Francisco, and oh, I
Nice.
see I see a LinkedIn user also from San Francisco learning 3D and Adobe After Effects. I can be replaced by AI, so learning more about AI. Amazing. I love IDEO. Hi, Sophia. I'm just making sure that I can see the live here. Okay, we are live. Amazing, amazing. People are joining us. It was just like took a while to load. Um,
I
Spatial
love
design
that.
might be the future. Yeah, I love that. I guess I learned how to host a conference yesterday, and I guess the biggest lesson I've learned was just, I guess, like be yourself. I feel like it's kind of cheesy, but like, for example, I want to make tech kawaii, and it's like totally unconventional, and I think vibes are also like a valid KPI. So yeah, that's what I learned.
I love that.
Amazing.
You
Thank you.
definitely know how to throw a good conference. Huge success yesterday. Round of applause.
Thank you. I
Yeah.
appreciate it. It was
Yeah.
so much fun. And I love your vibes too, Jeremy. Like we're
Oh,
just
thank
vibing
you.
and thriving everywhere. Yeah. We had like 3,000 viewers online, so I was like really honored that everyone came. And this is my first time, and then like we had capacity for 200 in person, and my first time doing a conference, and it was such a success. I never put up such an event before, but I think I need to make it bigger next time because I sold out of tickets. We sold out of tickets. But yeah, without further ado, I'll let Jeremy take it away with a dovetail demo and workshop.
Yes, let me go ahead and share my screen. I am Jeremy, and I am honored to lead our awesome community of customer obsessed people at Dovetail. I just pulled up my screen share. I think that everyone can see it, hopefully. So most features don't get used. And that's a huge issue, right? Because we're all working to generate relevant experiences for our customers and the people that we serve. You know, I'm a community builder. I'm always thinking through how can I add more value? How can I bring people together? And whether you're a product manager, designer, or researcher, you want to be able to find customer or market data that will help support your ideas, inform your product roadmap, help get buy-in for your vision, all backed by real customer insights. And if that advice or that evidence doesn't exist in your current systems, you want to be able to collect that data and analyze it as quickly as possible. So go ahead, scan this QR code. You can follow along with this demo. We have an unlimited free trial for you to start creating your workspace, loading your customer insights, and generating that knowledge. So for the purposes of today, I work at a fictitious music streaming app, and I'm conducting customer interviews to identify some of our biggest opportunity areas. But before I conduct that research, I might want to see some high volume information. So here I've created a channel. This is a product that Dovetail launched recently. Super exciting stuff for high volume analysis. I loaded 2 one-time exports of our support tickets, but you can also go ahead and connect high volume sources through Front, Intercom, Jira Service Management, Zendesk. So what this tool is effectively doing is taking these high volume inputs, putting them on a timeline, and Dovetail groups them conveniently for you to be able to get a pulse on an ongoing basis. If you connect the live data in there, it'll let you know how the topics and the frequency and how that's evolving over time. What's super cool is that everything is customizable. You can rework or rename these categories, merge them, train the model. And this is a closed loop system. The summary here of 223 data points gives you key sentiment analysis, understanding what your customers are thinking and saying. And with Dovetail, there's always an element of human in the loop. So you're actually able to go in and take a look at the source data and always share these traceable views with your stakeholders through, copying a link directly to wherever your leaders or your peers work, whether that's Slack, Jira. So I was able to get a high level sense of what our customers are facing. I might also want to query Dovetail to understand opportunities and uncover those insights fast based on existing information. So again, I'm at Zotify, a music streaming app. Let me just ask Dovetail, how can Zotify improve? So let's go ahead and let that search run. You'll see that it's pulling customer content, highlighted PDFs, files, reports, decks from across our workspace, and it conveniently generates this summary. So you'll see it identified 35 highlights across 3 projects and gives me a high-level overview of ways we can improve. And again, I'm looking to get to insight as quickly as possible and don't want to repeat previous work. I want to be able to pull from our existing customer knowledge base and really shape my strategy. I can use filters to target my query, and through these summarization features, quickly create an insight, which you could think of as a report of sorts. It automatically populates a title. Everything's customizable. And you can even add a fancy cover to make it nice and relaxing. These summaries also pull in the source data. So what you'll have here is a summary, and it's pulled from all of the references that we saw earlier. You can pull data out, highlight certain things. Everything's rich text editable. So you can go ahead and say, I recommend these next steps, and write those out and share this with your colleagues by either inviting them in or copying a direct link. So let's go ahead and publish this insight. That'll make it available to my peers and colleagues. And again, like I said, this is also a great resource to share with team members. If you're that person on the team that constantly gets asked about the customer, what are they thinking, what are they doing, you can direct people to our magic search functionality. So lots of good stuff in here, all traceable. So now let's say I've, got kind of a high level picture through these, high volume inputs, and then also through a search across our customer data. I now have identified a gap and want to start conducting interviews. So I've interviewed 20 or so customers. Let me go back here, and this takes us into our customer interviews project. I set this up with my colleague at Zotify. We conducted interviews with customers and have been having a great time just understanding how we can add value and what that means for them. I'll go ahead and add a call that I just conducted. Dovetail stores data in what's called notes, and you can easily upload a file yourself, transcribe or load directly from Zoom, Google Drive, OneDrive, and I'd be remiss not to mention we have a bunch of other two-way integrations that allow you to meet your stakeholders wherever they are. But when you're bringing data in the form of a note, you can go ahead and do that here. Let me just quickly load an interview that I conducted with one of our customers at Zotify. His name is Thomas J. And you'll see here that once I load the video, the transcription is automatically queued, ready to get going there. And you'll be guided through the sidebar through different magic features. I know AI is all the rage. So if you're looking to integrate AI into your workflows, Dovetail's magic is definitely for you. The call, once transcribed in over 30 different languages, will automatically summarize and then also recommend highlights. And you can suggest those highlights and also prompt to narrow down those highlights. So we can take a look while that's loading at an already transcribed call. You'll see here that the highlights are time-stamped and allow you again to trace back to the source data. The call here is playable and you can edit these at any time. So let's go ahead and suggest some highlights here. One thing I have to mention too while that's loading is that Dovetail allows you to highlight yourself. So any of those key nuggets that you want to capture in the transcription, again, you're conducting your research, you're able to quickly get those going. If there is any PII or sensitive information, depending on your company's policy or your organization, you might want to automatically blur a segment or redact. You can do any combination of those. So let's redact the audio here, and you'll see that that'll show up as redacted. And when you play, it'll remove the audio from that segment. Then the other piece around this feature is blurring the video. So let's go ahead and redact just the video here, and you'll see that that is now blurred. You know, if someone accidentally shares a password or sensitive information on their desktop, you'll want to make sure that everything is airtight and working for your participants. So Dovetail suggested 2 highlights here in this transcript. Let's go ahead and follow down. You're able to either accept, and again, in the spirit of human in the loop, Dovetail will give you the rationale. So this section demonstrates pain points and challenges faced by the user regarding issues with downgrading and accessing music. That definitely works for me, so I'm going to go ahead and accept that one. This section suggests improving the friend sharing and streaming features to allow friends with similar music tastes to connect. Great. So these are all really valuable insights. So this interview loaded. Let me go ahead and auto detect language. You can enter custom vocabulary, thinking through maybe some pronunciation differences or industry-specific jargon that you'd want the transcription to recognize. There you go. The call is transcribed. And just as I mentioned previously, you can automatically see the bucketed summaries and then start highlighting automatically right within Dovetail. Here you'll see I organize these calls based on level of experience with the Zotify product. So you can really bucket and customize these views. I'll go ahead and put this interview with Thomas here in the new user category and start highlighting that as well, which is super easy to do. So once I've highlighted my calls, I've processed all this data, I can go ahead into a Canvas view. Let's add a new one here. This is kind of like a Figma or Miro type experience where you can add a bunch of highlights to the canvas. Here you'll see we identified quite a bit of customer insights through this process, hundreds in fact. So where do you go from here? With Magic Cluster, we can go ahead and cluster all of these highlights by theme. What that'll do is that'll group all of the customer data that you identified into buckets that suggest and kind of can serve as a direction for you as you move forward. So we'll see here that there are, user feedback on the app. All of these are customizable. This is feedback on our onboarding. Say you wanted to change the title, and quickly through here, you can go ahead and either play a reel, which is throughout Dovetail, there are a bunch of ways to just collate customer video data and share that with your stakeholders. So directly from here, you can share this out, either download the reel or add it to an insight and add captions as well. And that will provide a 1-minute reel of your customer data. You can also create an insight like we did earlier, or add this information to an existing insight. And you'll see here that our insight has been updated with additional data, and you can go ahead and add some context. Perfect. One thing to note too, back at the note level, is that you can easily generate a video highlight too within this specific view that can then be downloaded or linked for easy sharing, again, wherever your stakeholders are working. So with that, I was able to go through from raw data to creating insights within my project, which are these convenient reports that are editable, customizable, shareable across your workspace. So as you continue to align with your teams, I encourage you to poke around, get started with Dovetail for free. Understanding your customers is key, and you can do that in a self-serve and scaled fashion with our channels, features, Magic Search, and a bunch of great AI-enabled tools in the synthesis analysis phase as you continue to uncover what matters and improve the quality of everything. I hope this was helpful. I know that we are going to open it up to Q&A in a bit. I'm excited to hear what you all thought. Dovetail is robust. There's a lot to explore. I recommend that you all participate in and join our community at dovetail.com/community. I'm in there constantly interacting, gathering feedback, and super curious to keep in touch even beyond this live stream. And with that, I will open it up to Q&A.
Amazing, thank you. I see a lot of buddies in the chat that attended our after party yesterday, so it was fun.
Hello.
And also aside, so I used to work at EA, Electronic Arts. Well, I quit like 2 months ago, but I met some of my awesome friends and team members at your party last night, and they are using Dovetail at EA still, and it's been great. Yeah. And it was really good catching up with them. So thanks for hosting that as well. And I guess LinkedIn user, Marcus was at the Dovetail after party. Stephanie thought yesterday was so much fun. So I don't know why it's LinkedIn user. I wish it could show it for all. But we got a question from Jason can Dovetail support videos hosted on YouTube?
Yeah, so it depends where you want to include the video. You can definitely rich embed YouTube videos directly in an insight. And again, the insight is kind of these reports that you share with your stakeholders to benefit from the analysis that comes with loading video files in either through the Zoom integration, Google Drive, OneDrive, or directly uploading call recordings. You'll need kind of like a raw video file. So the short answer is yes, you can definitely embed YouTube videos in Dovetail. The long answer is depending on what you want to do with them, you might need to adjust the format.
Mm-hmm. Yes, thank you. Yeah, let me know if anyone else has any other questions, but I would love to use Dovetail more user interviews. Like I used it when we were interviewing a lot of users at EA, and it was really great being able to synthesize all the data in one place. But as I'm now building Design Buddies AI, I can interview users
Yeah.
and use Dovetail to synthesize all the data with AI. AI with AI. We love AI.
I love that. Yeah, the whole
Yes.
goal is to continue to help and embed AI and machine learning in a way that assists with reducing that time to insight, right? So as quickly as possible, again, you can, through your high volume customer data, through existing research, right? You want to limit the need to like repeat those types of activities. So you can just query Dovetail if it's all loaded in there, reuse, or even use existing materials to find the direction for your next series of studies or gathering that you're doing. And especially when you're a designer working to impact the roadmap, communicate with engineering, get things in front of them that are really solving customer need, it's super convenient to be able to link to the direct traceable customer context and information, whether that is an industry report that you've highlighted and processed in Dovetail that you're embedding in an insight, or segments of a call that you've had with a customer. I think a lot of times people can get really removed from the actual customer's experience. So as much as you bring that front and center and grow as a leader as well, I think it really is a great way to make sure everybody wins.
Mm-hmm. Definitely agreed. Pollux asks, if you're creating a new product with no users, how can Dovetail be useful?
Ooh, that's an interesting
Yeah.
question. I'd love to learn more about your specific product. I don't know if we can bring people on stage, but I think there is the ability, right, to do market research through Dovetail. We have a templates library, which I highly recommend that you all check out. You'll have access to it in your plan, even if you start out for free. There are plenty of templates to conduct market research, understand product market fit. Again, you can bring in literature. So even if you don't have existing customers, but you just want to understand who's out there, and there's so many ways to discover like a need out in the market. If you're working in the food and beverage industry, maybe you could go and like survey people at the local food truck, right? Or you could write out your customer insights directly within a note and start thinking through how you'll organize things. But I would definitely get inspiration from our community. We have a bunch of founders in there. I'm not personally a product founder. I admire founders. It is such a courageous endeavor to go out there and like try to build something completely new. So I would definitely encourage you to connect and look through some of our templates, see how they apply to your use case, and just get started. I think as much as you can, if you're struggling with your information and research and data as you're building out this new product, living in disparate sources, whether it's your email, your text messages, different surveys that you've conducted, you have a bunch of reports in a drive somewhere, you can just try dumping it all into Dovetail and see what happens. Start asking questions, and Dovetail should have some answers.
Mm-hmm. I feel like as a product builder, understanding what problem you're solving and how big the market could be, like how big your problem space and how big your customer base could be. It could be interviewing people that fit into that category, figure out their pain points, and you can use Dovetail to do that as well, to summarize all these insights.
I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm excited about your entrepreneurship journey and the new app you're building for all of the buddies.
Thank you. It's so great. I feel like starting as a UX designer at like a large company was so
Yeah.
helpful for me to understand the fundamentals and learning how to solve problems and doing all the business stuff, the design stuff. So thank you. Any other questions from our lovely chat? Or anything else you want to share with the audience, Jeremy, about Dovetail or anything top of mind that you haven't shared yet?
Yeah, I would just say and reiterate, if you want to uncover insights fast and continually keep tabs and discover how you need to evolve, how to meet those customer needs, just put yourself out there and don't hesitate to have conversations and lead with customer value in mind. I am always here to help. I can put myself out there as a resource too. And like I said, a first step to collaborating would be to join our community. So whether you're in Design Buddies, or I don't know if we can share a link in the chat, dovetail.com/community is definitely the place to be as you start with your free trial of Dovetail. Or it's free forever, actually. We used to have a free trial, but now we're just a freemium product. So super exciting times to be a part of Dovetail and get that impact going. And we're committed to all of your success. I know that you can be customer centric.
Amazing. Yes, dovetail.com/community. I'll put it on the screen.
Nice.
And also, as for product butters, it's so useful. Especially, I know there's a lot of discussion around having designers get like a seat at the table and management. And I feel like a great way that, like, I'm not working in corporate anymore, but like based on my own experience working in corporate, is to prove business value on how you are help solving these user needs. And a way to uncover the market size and the pain points is to use data, both quantitative and qualitative data. So another way you can grow your design career. If there's no more questions, I will send the recording to anyone else on YouTube and include the link to the Dovetail community. Anything else you want to share before we wrap up today, Jeremy?
No, I would just say thank you all for coming. This is super exciting. And the ability, like you said, to quickly, you don't want to just uncover knowledge about the customer, your product, your problem area, your impact, and just have it sit there. It's just so critical to share that out quickly and do it in a way that brings people in to rally around whatever customer impact you want to have. So we hope Dovetail can help you achieve that. And let us know, share your stories. Please post, tag at Dovetail. We're always looking for those moments where you're able to really align your work with business impact and that value, because that's really how careers are made. And that's really where we want to facilitate that for all of you. And again, our overall mission is to improve the quality of everything. So really think through that. Like, what impact do you have? It just takes one person or a small group of committed people to really have a huge impactful change. How are you telling that story about the impact you're trying to have? And how can you leverage different tooling to really drive that? And so we hope you will continue in your day-to-day to improve the quality of everything. And I'll be doing the same. And I'm just always open to connecting as well on LinkedIn, in our community, wherever it is. Thank you, Grace, for the opportunity today. And I know we'll be doing many more fun things with the Design Buddies community too.
Yeah, stay tuned and don't design in the dark. Validate with data. Yeah, data. We love data. And AI, yes. I love data.
All kinds of data. I think you put it perfectly. Qualitative and quantitative.
Amazing. Cool. Well, I'll send out the recording to everyone who also signed up for our conference and our workshop today. Hope you have a wonderful, beautiful day and slay with no cap and achieve all your goals.
Amazing. Thank you all.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.